to create the ultimate bland 20th level character. By bland, I do mean interesting and uninteresting and normal, boring, but I also mean a character that gives the player the fewest options, the fewest choices to make, both in character development and importantly in playing. So we're going to be a human. Subrace will be regular human. It is not a variant. A variant would give us an extra skill and a feat. Those would be choices to make in making them, and then depending on the skill or the feat, they may give us extra choices in playing. We don't want that. Character is going to be a fighter. They're very good at hitting things, which is very important in D&D, but fewer choices to actually make, fewer skills and stuff. So our background is going to be soldier. Soldier gives us the athletics and intimidation skills. Athletics is simply being proficient in doing things you can already do with strength, and intimidation, you're proficient in threatening people, which you can make threats anyway. Let's go to point buy. We are going to make, just because it's a boring character doesn't mean it can't be an effective character, so we are going to try to make an effective character. Our dump stat here is going to be intelligence. We want most of these to be odd since we're going to get +1 to all of our stats anyway. 2 skills, we'll pick perception because it's very useful in D&D, but you're already trying to perceive things. You're just proficient in it here. And we'll also go with insight because, again, you can always try to figure out whether or not people are lying. Now you're just better at it. Fighting style. We do not want 2-weapon fighting, protection, great weapon fighting, or dueling. These all give the player options in terms of what they're going to be doing. We don't want that. Archery, well, you can always use a bow or not anyway, and this just makes you better at the bow. So we could pick archery, but better one here will be defense. We're going to be wearing armor anyway, and this will just make us better at it. 13 hit points at first level. The weapon we'll choose here, the main weapon will be a longsword, of course. Secondary weapon, battle axe. Kind of cliche, not so much as longsword, but still somewhat of a cliche, so that's normal. And walking around the woods is not quite as interesting as going through a dungeon, so we'll pick the Explorer's Pack. For obvious reasons, our character's name is John. And there is John. A pretty effective character, but as you can see, not that interesting. We only have 4 skill proficiencies, all things people can do anyway. John is just better at it. And if we look at features, this is a very short list of features. So let's level up. Level up again. The archetype. Arcane Archer, no, that would give us a cantrip, and then we would also have a couple of different types of arcane shots, special types of shots we could choose to do. Too many choices. Battle Master, no, that gives you maneuvers to do in combat, choices to make. No. Cavalier gives you options and things you can do riding a horse. We don't want that. Eldritch Knight, no way. You're choosing spells and then trying to decide whether to use the spells. That's way too interesting. Knight, that gives you opportunities in terms of leading people. Samurai, you can choose to give in terms of when you give yourself certain advantages, plus you become a courtier and learn skills. No, what we want is Champion. Champion allows you to get a critical hit on a 19 or a 20, which is awesome. That is an awesome ability, but it doesn't really give you any more options. It just means that you can crit more often. You'd crit on a 19 the same way or a 20 the same way you crit on just a 20, which is that you roll to attack. Don't do anything new with being a champion. And at that, here are all of our features. Next, let's level up again. Now we could choose a feat, but we're not going to do that. Choosing a feat would also be an interesting choice to make, even if you pick something that doesn't actually give you more choices, like toughness, but that would just be something a little more interesting, and it would give you the choice of making the feat. Now here we do have to choose the ability scores to increase, but those seem kind of obvious, so we're just going to choose strength here. And as we continue, as a fighter, you get 7 ability score increases. So what we're going to do as we level up, we're going to keep leveling up, and we're not going to choose any feats. We're just going to choose ability score increases because they just make you better at what you're already doing. We're going to choose strength up to 20, then constitution up to 20, and then from there, dexterity is probably the most useful. And that's what we'll do from here to level 20. Here, since we're getting another fighting style, as I already said before, archery just makes you better at something you can already do anyway, so let's go with that. And here we are at level 20. As you can see, here's all of our features. It fills up one page, but that's actually pretty short for a 20th level character. Basically, we can hit things.